Even as the G7 summit in France concluded smoothly with US President Donald Trump adopting a more cooperative tone instead of openly attacking his European allies, Italy is now up in arms. A comment by Trump on PM Georgia Meloni has riled Italy to the extent that its foreign minister called off his American visit. Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has also expressed his solidarity with Meloni. Now, it all started with Trump's interview with Italy-based LA7 channel. On the sidelines of the G7 summit earlier this week, visuals showed Meloni and Trump deep in conversation and sitting side by side on a small sofa. However, Trump reportedly told the channel that he merely indulged the Italian Prime Minister by chatting with her. According to the transcript released by the channel, the US president was quoted as saying, "She begged me to take a picture with her. She wanted a picture with me so badly, I wouldn't have taken it, but I felt sorry for her." While the channel did not make the audio of this conversation public, and US is yet to confirm this, Meloni took offense at this alleged comment. She accused Trump of lying and expressed surprise at the way in which Trump treats his US allies.
Donald Trump's statements are completely made up. I am frankly astonished. I don't know why the President of the United States behaves like this towards his allies.
In an indirect reference to Trump's public praise for leaders like China's President Xi Jinping and Russian President Vladimir Putin, Meloni lamented that Trump treats adversaries of the West with a great deal of indulgence.
I can only say it is disappointing that he does not show the same determination with the enemies of the West and of the United States, whose leaders he instead treats with far greater indulgence. There is one thing he should remember: neither I nor Italy ever beg.
Italy's Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani cancelled his visit to the US from June 21st to 22nd, where he was set to attend an Italy-US business forum in Miami and meet US Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Explaining his decision, he said, and I quote, "The serious and offensive words of President Trump towards PM Georgia Meloni offend all of Italy." The latest diplomatic tiff comes even as Meloni was a vocal supporter of Donald Trump. She was in fact the lone head of state in the European Union to attend his inauguration, as he took oath as president for the second time in January 2025. However, the two leaders have clashed in recent times. For instance, in April, after Meloni dubbed Trump's criticism of Pope Leo over the Iran war as unacceptable, the US president said that she lacked courage. Now, this is not the only European leader with whom Trump has clashed. Although French President Emmanuel Macron laid out the red carpet for the US president by hosting him for a banquet at the Palace of Versailles, they have been at loggerheads for a long time. While Macron strongly opposed US forcibly clearing Strait of Hormuz through a military operation, Trump slammed France's lack of support for the Iran war. He also provoked outrage by claiming that Macron's wife, quote, treats him extremely badly. France's president, in turn, made it clear that Trump's comments were neither elegant nor up to standard. The US president also has had a turbulent relationship with Germany's leaders. Last year, he heaped criticism on former German Chancellor Angela Merkel for opening up her country to refugees. Similarly, Trump hit out at incumbent Chancellor Friedrich Merz after he castigated US over the Iran war. Merz flagged America's lack of an exit strategy and warned how Iran is humiliating it in negotiations. In fact, even neighboring Canada has not been spared from the American leader's barbs. Back in the year 2018, a major controversy broke out after US refused to endorse the joint G7 statement, with Trump accusing the then Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau of acting meekly and making false statements over tariffs between the two countries. In the year 2024, he even described Trudeau as a, quote, governor. Trump has also riled the present leader, Mark Carney, and the government that he leads by referring to Canada as America's 51st state. This has spurred Canada to reduce its reliance on US defense firms for purchase of fighter jets. Donald Trump's dissatisfaction with allies over refusal to actively participate in the Iran war has also resulted in a rethink on U.S. approach towards NATO. More recently, Washington told its allies that it will gradually scale down the number of strategic bombers, fighter jets, drones, submarines and warships to defend NATO countries, with U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth announcing NATO 3.0, a 6-month Pentagon review of American forces in Europe. It is apparent that America's ties with Europe are far from being sorted.